My name is Leslie Aker, and this is my CAPS265 portfolio project. I am in the Early Childhood Education program, and this is our following rubric of outcomes for our degree. The first outcome we have is information literacy and communication in the institutional outcomes. And for this, I did a assignment in my child behavior observation and evaluation class where I had to look at 3 individual observations of students in 3 different centers that needed specific support for special needs. I needed to be able to recognize what types of support they needed, recommend the number of times the support was needed outside the center, in the center, and at home with provided material, along with data collecting, communication between the places and people on improvements in areas that needed work. The next section in the institutional is relational learning. For this, I had an assignment in my Principles of Psychology where we had to take a personality test on ourselves and then write an essay about how we felt about the results. This is something that helped me hone in on areas that I was aware of and areas where I did not really notice. So it helps you to understand where you need to grow more, which will help you in your career, because if you are not a well-balanced individual, you may not always put your best foot forward in the community. The next is thinking abilities. And for this, I had an assignment in my career development 1, learning community, and career development 2, theory and practice. Career development 1, we did a formal, informal learning reflection on the class as a whole, what we took away from the class, how building resumes and presenting a professional presence in the world through social media, through our LinkedIn profiles, anywhere where you may be seen or you may represent yourself. It made you realize you need to clean up things, reorganize in order to be at your best when you go out looking for your career. The second was a reflection on career readiness and then your goal plans moving forward. It helps you to break down where you are in your journey to your career. It helps you to see what you need to do to get to your next step. And it also can help you see if you are in line with what you really want to do in life. The next is quantitative and scientific reasoning. For this, I had 2 different classes as well. I had my college mathematics, quantitative reasoning, and then career development 1, learning community again. For my college mathematics, we did a monthly budget plan versus your salary or monthly income. And this helped because you were able to break down how much you were going to make in a month and how much you spend in a month on bills or things, necessities, your car, insurances, things like this. And it really makes you take accountability for yourself, where you are financially. And I feel like that helps you in the career world, because being able to be self-aware when it comes to things like your budget and your bills, it has a trickling effect into your career, so you can be more self-aware in what you're doing in life. For Career Development 1, it was, again, the Career Development Plan. And we just did the formal, informal learning reflection on the class. The last one in the institutional outcomes is Community and Career, where we participated in a PowerPoint of different types of families and family variations in communities. And this helps you to understand the children's families you'll be working with in your early childhood education classes, their needs, beliefs, and their cultural identities. Next is the program outcomes. And for this first one, I did a lesson plan on ages 3 to 5 on a book called I Am Angry. And for this, you had to break down the book. You had to be able to observe, evaluate, and then reflect on how it went, and then list materials you would need to do an activity as well. And this helps with being able to build a lesson plan in the future. For the next, it was health and safety, nutrition of young children. And I did lesson plans for a tornado drill, a classroom, bathroom plan, and then a nutrition, and that was from ages 8 to 5. And it was an objection, an evaluation, materials needed, and then a procedure of how I was going to put that plan into place. Next, we have 2 separate PowerPoints that I had to do. The first we did, we made them based off in towns we live in currently, our demographics, economical standings, religions, social needs, and social hierarchies. This helps you understand your community and the children that are coming into your classroom, because that helps you to get a more personal feel and build that relationship with the family and the children. And the other is the types of family units in our community again. Next was from my early childhood practice for the 4th one in our program outcomes. And I had to do simulated observations. For this, I watched videos on YouTube, and they were varying ages and needs of children's. And I needed to record, support, follow-up for them, center home support. I also work in an early childhood special education classroom, so I am able to get one-on-one practice every day with our children. The 5th one was for curriculum planning from that class, and I needed to modify lesson plans for preschoolers from ages 3 to 5 with varying special needs to help in all lesson plans have inclusion of all children. And area 6 was from my early childhood administration, and we had scenarios we needed to read and report any check-in areas, concerns from those, and then how those would be best addressed for them to not be a problem again. And I also had one from research and writing in the workplace, and it was based off in writing an essay about how the feedback from your professor helped you become a better writer. Doing this portfolio project helps me to understand that professionally I am able to aid our students in meeting their IEP goals, along with continuing the need for support in the classroom from our physical therapy, our occupational therapy, our speech therapists that come to our classes, and understanding our children's families, their needs, their beliefs, and their wants for their kids while in the classroom. Personally, I am able to actually help my friends and family to identify problem areas for their children. I'm able to provide support for their children. I can aid with academic standards for where their children are, and I can help them gauge where they're falling. But thank you so much for this class and everything that I have learned.